Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be looking at a Richard Mille, a ladies' automatic, as they call it, the 07-01 or the RM701. However you want to call it. That's the model number. This one is basically a tonneau shape made for ladies. It's rather on the small side. I'll have the dimensions in a moment, but this is basically all red gold in its construction, as you can see, with a Jasper sort of centerpiece with diamonds laid all around it and diamonds all on the entire face as well. In fact, there's 246 of them in total. All right, I'll be going over the case, the dial, the bezel, I suppose, the crown functions, as well as the movement, and this nice red rubber strap. And I'll be giving my thoughts on all of this throughout the video. All right, so starting off with the case, we have dimensions of 45.66 millimeters in height, 31.4 millimeters in width at the widest portion, and it's 11.85 millimeters thick. So it's got sort of that sort of sports watch feel, sports watch look and aesthetic to it, especially with its thickness to house all of the internal movements, made for the technologically savvy person who ends up wearing this. Now, the front of this crystal here is actually curved to match the shape, this tonneau shape of the front element there of the bezel. So it is entirely curved and made to fit within this tonneau shape nice and perfectly. Not as glare proof as I'd like to have it, but you know, when you're wearing this on your wrist, you literally won't even notice the glare. It's just easier to see on video and in photos, so take that for how you will. All right, so again, all red gold in its construction, nice sandblasted texture on the sides with, if I can zoom in here and get a nice clean focus, there's actually satin brush finishing vertically on the sort of lugs here for the screws that go through the front and out the back. All right, and there's 4 that are visible on the sides of this case. There's 2 more that sort of go through the lugs, or what would be the lugs of this case. It's entirely clean in its cuts here, nice and high polish along the sort of sides of these bezels of the front and back. And we also have the satin brush finishing vertical with hallmarks to show that you are dealing with precious metals, in this case red gold or rose gold. Okay, now taking a look at this bezel, well, this whole entire thing is actually the bezel because, well, that's literally it. The case is sort of recessed in there with that sandblasted finish, but here the bezel sits on top. It's gigantic, it's proud, and just plain gorgeous. All these diamond settings, medium diamond settings. All right, again, there's 246 of these, all nicely laid out by hand as well. And as you can see, there are also high polished channels sort of encircling each portion of these diamonds. Gives a very interesting and modular look to every aspect of this watch. It's very difficult to actually sort of like compose all of this within a single shot because it is such a vertically oriented watch with this shape. All right, now looking closer at the dial, we have a sort of like carbon sort of ring around this dial. Also sapphire crystal there with the index hour marks, sort of like in a teardrop shape for each of these hours, with tiny index markers all slanted in towards the center of the dial. And speaking of the center of the dial, again, we have diamonds all set in red gold or pink gold with a large Jasper setting there. And this particular Jasper stone is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking at my monitor right now. It's actually not as good as I can see it with my own eyes. It's absolutely beautiful. You need to see this with your own eyes to really fully appreciate the sort of layer and the depth that's in this Jasper stone that's, you know, set right in the center. through which the minute and hour hands, the pencil-shaped minute and hour hands, are actually placed. Now, keep in mind, there's no seconds hand here. There's no chronograph. There's no sense of precision when it comes to this watch. Yet, all the technological feats of this watch are held specifically within the movement. Now, we can basically see just how this watch works. At the base position, this crown will wind the watch. About 20 to 30 full winds is all you need to get to the full power reserve, as is standard with just about any watch. All right, you can pull the crown out to the only other position, no hacking seconds because there is no seconds hand, and you can just simply rotate the minute hand and place it wherever it needs to go. All right, so what's the point of all of this when you don't really have any sense of precision when it comes to setting the time? Well, it's just to look plain good, because if you look at this on the wrist, I'll show you a little bit later on my wrist at least, you'll see that it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, the movement on the inside is the CRMA2. All right, it has a dimension or a set of dimensions of 29.9 by 22 millimeters, made specifically for this watch, the RM7. As you can see, actually difficult to get the light in there completely. All right, and we have a bidirectional, or unidirectional rather, winding rotor. It has a thickness of 4.92 millimeters, 25 joules total, a cube balance with 4 arms, 4 setting screws, and a moment of inertia of 7.5 milligrams centimeters squared, with a 50-degree angle of lift. If you happen to know what all of that means, good on you, because I don't. If you know what it means, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to geek out about this tech stuff. Anyway, the frequency beats at a frequency of 28,800 vibrations per hour, or 4 hertz. So if there was a seconds hand, it would be moving 8 times a second, but who's counting? The balance spring on the inside is an AK3 with an Inca block shock protection, and if I can get the balance wheel in focus there, the Inca block shocks are certainly there. However, the gemstone on the inside for that shock protection is actually transparent. You can't see it. It's normally like a pinkish hue, but this one is completely transparent. And that is, just a part of Richard Mille just doing Richard Mille things. The escapement wheel jewels are Rubifix, also transparent. All these together give you a massive power reserve of, well, actually it's not that massive, but it's pretty big. It's between 45 and 55 hours at a time. So you can set this down on a Friday evening. You can pick it back up on a Sunday evening, ready for the next week, and it'll be keeping track of time just fine. Now keep in mind that if you do wear this on your wrist, that rotor will keep winding the mainspring barrel so that you can, keep wearing it without even having to wind it. And winding it is actually incredibly easy. You can probably do so with this on your wrist, although I do not recommend that you do so. But the winding crown is absolutely massive with this huge rubber wheel, basically evoking that, general Richard Mille aesthetic of, racing and technology and aeronautics, just advanced tech, basically. And it's very big, very easy to grasp, and very easy to rotate. So anyway, looking at the strap here for the framing, we have a matching red strap, matching that of the Jasper there. It's harder to see in the video, but with your own eyes, looking at the way that you can see the dimensions with your eyes, and see the different shading and the way that the matte finish really absorbs or reflects light depending on the angle. It really matches that with the Jasper, both the bright and the dark halves there. Very nice and beautiful, matching in its consistency there. We also have a red gold buckle with a pin system that just goes straight through, nice and easy, and it's nice and big, so it actually doesn't release by itself. You'll actually have to pull this all the way out in order for it to work. Now this one is a double deployment system, but no button releases here. You do have the minder loops, so if you have excess strap, they'll be kept nice and tidy. But looking at it, how you deploy it, you just simply pull it open, and the way that it works is that there's a titanium plate here with a very, very thin, incredibly thin wafer thin titanium plate as well, passing all the way through, and this plate is what provides the pressure to keep the clasp either open or closed on either side. All right, so if I move it slowly, you can see that the plate wants to be set into its main position, and it will only do so when it is open or closed. Very, very good engineering from Richard Mille here, and it's actually very comfortable with the satin brush finishing underneath. Feels very nice on the wrist. And speaking of which, I will try it on my wrist as well. All right, so this is actually set rather large. I didn't size this to my wrist, I just had it to the largest setting here. Let me zoom out here. All right, so looking at it on my wrist, a 7-inch in circumference wrist, or 18 centimeters in circumference. Well, it sits very nicely, very, very clean on my wrist, and even a smaller wrist. I've seen it on a lady's wrist as well, and it fits. It sits perfectly. No space, no extra tolerance here, and no tolerance needed. It just sits and fits perfectly. If it fits, it sits, right? Well, and it certainly does. Taking a look at it on the wrist, you do have a really good framing, a really, really good sense of framing here. Even though it does wear kind of like a 40mm watch vertically, I do get a good framing of the straps from the 12 to 6 o'clock side, nicely framing that red gold, which then frame the diamonds, which then frame that Jasper setting right in the middle. The alternations of color here, very beautiful and just elegant. It's so hard to not appreciate this. All right, and all the technological portions of this held inside this 11mm case. Even though it may not slide very easily under a suit cuff, it will slide under a jacket sleeve, no problem. And with the way that this feels, the titanium up against my wrist feels incredibly comfortable. And so the double deployment system does actually help it prevent the pinching that a single-sided fold-over clasp would give you. All right. Now, when it comes to the weight, it is light for what it is, with so much gold here in its construction and its thickness, but I won't say that it's incredibly light either. It is light for what it is, but you can still feel this on your wrist. But you know, you wear it for about a day, you won't even notice it. It's light enough that you won't notice it. So basically, why would you get this watch? It's a Richard Mille. Well, why would you get a Richard Mille? Well, it's for those, again, who are tech savvy, those who appreciate the internal mechanisms of mechanical watches, and just the fact that they put all of their watches through so many tests here. You can see on the engraving that it's been passed through different types of heat and cold in 5 different positions. Also, the winding rotor can actually be adjusted so that it will wind faster or slower depending on your activity. So that's something that no other watch brand really does, and that's thanks to these tiny adjustments on the inside. This one's set to the middle setting, as you can see, but if you move them outward, the rotor becomes larger and therefore winds a little bit more slowly, thereby, you know, if you're a more active person, it will wind accordingly. If you are a less active person, say you're sitting at a desk all the time, or just conducting meetings, then simply set them to the innermost position where it will rotate faster and it will wind the mainspring accordingly as well. All right, so why would you get this? Again, it's for that tech savviness and just the way that it looks. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, I'm looking at this on the video and it just does not compare to seeing it in real life. The depth, the complexity, and just the sheer elegance of certain portions of this watch, just how everything is laid out and put together, is just genius and absolutely beautiful. All right, now holding it at an angle, you can really see how all of these elements are layered on here. It's just absolutely beautiful looking at this. So if you want to flex, this is the watch for you. A ladies automatic, well, most likely for ladies, but hey, I'd wear one of these. It's just so cool. Anyway, that's it for me here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to comment. Let us know which Richard Mille would you prefer? Which of the RM7 line would you like? They have this in a titanium, I believe, and also carbon fiber as well as gold. Oh, they have this in carbon fiber, gold, and ceramic. Sorry, carbon fiber, gold, or ceramic. This one is gold with the diamond laid out on basically the entire front of the case here. There's also a carbon fiber version and ceramic. So do you think that this one looks the best, or maybe not? Let us know down in the comments below. And most importantly, if you want to purchase this watch or any other watch, visit our website at jazztime.com. Links in the description below. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, and you can get it for the lowest price on our site, jazztime.com. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.